So we'll get right into it. You can use your wall as your support, your balance, or if you've got your chair or your countertop, you will need a mat for the end of class. I have some sliders. If you don't have sliders, some alternatives are really fuzzy socks. If you've got hardwood, paper plates, sometimes just depending on your floor surface, regular socks. But I will show you guys everything without sliders as well. Some alternatives to what we do with the sliders. All right, sorry for the delay. Here we go. We're gonna get started. Okay, so let's take a big deep breath in. Arms come up, and then we bend back into it. Arms come down. Big inhale up. Exhale, bend, come down, and lift. Exhale, come down. 2 more like this. Lift. Exhale, down. 1 more, lift. Exhale, down. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, lift. Down, 2, 3, lift. Down, 2, 3, lift. Down, 2, 3, lift. Awesome. So arms come down. I'm going to keep my feet nice and wide. We're gonna make a circle with the arms. So I'll go 1, 2, and then reach. Other way, 1, 2, and reach. You need to modify. You're just gonna keep that toe on the ground. Reach. Reach. This would be the modifier. Full version, you're lifting the toe off the ground. Reach, and then this time, we're gonna hold. So if you're modifying, keep the toe on the ground. If not, lift that leg up, toe is pointed. And then other way. And hold. Awesome. And bring it down. Feet stay nice and wide. We're gonna bend into it. Then that left arm comes up. I'm gonna reach over to the right. Come back to center. Other side. Come back to center. Reach. Center. Reach. Center. And then we're going to speed it up. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Left 4, 3, 2, 1. So going back to that first side. We're gonna pulse. So I'm gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So stay nice and low. If you need to modify, come up out of it a little bit. I'm gonna take my hands to the insides of my legs. And I'm just gonna do a little hip opening stretch. And then other side. One more time, each way. Last one. Perfect. So we're gonna straighten out the legs and we're gonna make a little triangle with our body. So soft bend in the knees, core is pulled in. I'm gonna point my toes a little bit forward so they're not straight out to the sides. And then I'm gonna bring my end down, flat back over to the other side, and then lift up, okay? Core is nice and tight. Other way, down, across, and up. Down, cross, up. Down, cross, and up. If you want, you can have your hands on your hips or arms out in front of you. Down, cross, up, down, cross, up. This will be our last one. Down, cross, and up. Perfect. Let's bring those feet together. I'm going to open up the hips one more time. We're going to open one leg at a time. Toe is pointed as you lift the leg. We'll go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, I'm going to grab my sliders. I'm actually going to just grab one, and I'm going to place it underneath my left foot. So my right leg is my standing leg. I'm just trying to find an angle to show this to you guys on. So my right knee is going to be bent, and I'm going to slide back with that left leg that has the slider. Hands can either be on the hips, or if it helps you balance, they'll be out in front of you. Okay? Nice long torso, shoulders are pulled down, chest is open. All I'm going to do is pull this leg in and extend back out. So I pull in, extend out. Pull in, extend out. We're going to go 8, back, 7, back, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do that one more time, but just in case you don't have a slider, my foot's off the slider, I would tap in, tap out, tap in, tap out. So I'm going to grab my slider again. We got 8 more on this side. Okay, so lengthen out first. We pull in, extend out, in and out. We do that 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. And come back up. We switch sides. So now my left leg is my standing leg. My right leg extends back. Make sure I've got enough room here. So we start by extending back, and we pull in, extend, pull in, extend. Or you're tapping. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. Got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Awesome. And stand back up. I'm going to face you for this next one, just so you can see a little bit better. I'll start with my slider underneath my left foot again. I realize you guys can't see it yet, but I don't want to hit the wall. So if I'm directly in front of you here, my hips are lined up, and then I'm taking this left foot out. I'm just going to bring it back, and I'm going to keep my leg straight. So as my front leg bends, I'm going back on a diagonal with that opposite leg. So my left leg comes back, my right knee bends, and then I come back up, but I'm not going to come up all the way. So I'm always keeping a slight bend, coming up, coming down. And I'm going to move up a little bit just so I don't hit. I'll turn to the side actually. So we'll go down and in, down and in. Got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down there for me, and pulse. So nice little up and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Slide it back in. We're going to switch sides. So now it's underneath my right foot. My left leg is standing. And again, we're coming back on a diagonal. So my leg stays straight, but it crosses back behind me. And we go back and in, back and in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it back there for me, and we pulse. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift it back up. Awesome. Now, I'm gonna take my heels together, toes are apart, and I'm just gonna take that slider under the top of my right foot, slide it back so you guys can see. Now, if I'm doing this without a slider, bring that in front of me, it'll look like this. I point forward, I open up to back, slide it back in. With the slider, I point forward, slide it, come in. Okay, I'm gonna point this more towards my feet because that's what I want you guys to really focus on. So my leg will stay straight on my slider side and my toe will stay pointed. So it'll look like this. Point, around, and in. Point, around, and in. Around, in, point, around, in. We have 4, in, 3, in, 2, in, last one, and in. So we'll switch sides. So it's underneath my left foot now. Slight bend in those knees. And come forward, around, in. Forward, around, and in. I'm really squeezing as I come back, keeping that leg straight. Glute is engaged. We have 4, in, 3, in, 2, in, last one, and in. Awesome. So you can slide your slider out of the way, or if it's more comfortable and you've got socks on, you can always take those off. So we're gonna move on from the sliders. I'm gonna stagger my feet. So I've got my left foot forward and my right toe back behind me. Toe is pointed and I'm flat on that front leg. Now, I may use my wall. If you've got a chair or a countertop, you may end up using that. Kind of just depends on your space. But I'm going to lift up through that front heel and bring it back down. My back heel stays lifted the entire time, okay? So I lift and I lower. Lift and lower. And if you can, try to balance it. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. We've got a nice strong core, so belly button's pulled in and shoulders are back and down. We're gonna go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So stay in this position. I'm going to straighten this back leg out, and I'm going to lift so that my weight is on that front leg. Toes come up off the ground, and I'm tipping forward, coming back to the ground. Tip forward and come back. So it's a really small little tip. If you want to go a little farther into it, you can. I don't really have the space to be doing that today. So as I lift my leg off the ground, my toe points. I'm trying to lengthen out from the crown of my head all the way out to that big toe. And that standing leg is our balancer here. So we've got 4 more. 3, 2, and then last one. Hover that leg if you can. If not, go ahead and just point that toe, kind of touch the ground here and still hover. But if you can join me with hovering the leg up, do that. Now, if you've got a wall nearby, but like I do, it's easy to kind of catch your balance. If not, you can always adjust and go back into it. Now here's where this gets fun. So I'm hovering my leg and I'm going to start to pulse my standing leg. So I come down and lift, down and lift. If this is too much, you need to modify it. It's gonna look like this. So my foot comes back to the ground, but if you can stay elevated through that back leg, it'll get a little bit more of a burn. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, good job. Okay, so we're gonna stretch that side out a little bit just before we go into the other. So the standing leg crosses over your moving leg. So that means my right is crossing over my left. You can grab hold of something, or you can just sink into that little quad stretch. Sometimes it helps if you bring your arms out. Kind of gives your body a center of balance here. And then we'll stand back up and we'll go to the other side. So I'm just switching legs. My right leg comes back and my standing leg in front is my left. And I'm gonna start with those back toes on the ground. And all we're doing is lifting and lowering through the front heel. Might take a minute to get your balance here. That's all right. So core is pulled in, shoulders are down and back, chest is open. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So bring that foot all the way back down on the ground, and we're gonna hover that leg. So I'm just gonna tip forward a little bit and come back up. Small tip forward and come up. If you need to, you can drop the arms, come up. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're hovering here. And again, we're gonna pulse that front leg. So you can have your hands on your hips or out in front again. And we're gonna come down and lift, down and lift. If you're modifying toes on the ground, lift. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So that standing leg crosses over the leg that you were just moving, and we sit into it. You can grab your wall if you need to, your chair. Awesome. And we'll come back up. We are going to grab our mat. So to start off, I'm going to fold my mat maybe in thirds, just so I can utilize as much space as I need to. If you are limited on space, that might be a good option. If not, spread your whole mat out. And I'm grabbing both of my sliders. Get these down here. Okay. So I'll start out with my slides underneath my hands, and these are going to be on my mat. So I'll come into push-up position here in my modified plank. So if you're looking at me from the side, modified plank, core is pulled in, knees are on the ground, tops of the feet are down. I'm going to face you just for the purpose of you seeing this though. So I'm going to go down into a push-up on my right side and then my left with the slider. So I'll come out, down, and in. Other side, down, and in. Now, if you don't have sliders, it's going to look like this. I'm just going to step the hand out, come down, step it in. Step the hand out, come down, and come in. We're going to do 16 of them. So it'll be 8 on each side. Here we go. We'll roll 1 and in. 2, in, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So if you need to, just go ahead, press back here a second. And we're going to stay in modified plank with our sliders underneath our hands. This time though, I'll take my right hand first. I'm going to just slide it under, come back to center. So I reach, come back to center, alternating sides. We'll go 16 again. And now here before we start, if you're modifying without a slider, it's going to look like this. So I'll reach, come back, reach, come back, okay? Pretty much the same move. So hands are on the sliders if you've got them, or if you've moved your socks to your hands, and we come under, center, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Go ahead and bring it back into child's pose. Now give yourself a minute if you need to move socks or plates or sliders. You're going to bring them to your feet, and I'm going to move so that you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to have my sliders underneath my feet, and I'm going to be up in plank position. Make sure your sliders are centered here. Now I'm going to bring one side out, come in, other side out, come in. We're just alternating sides. If you don't have sliders, you're just going to tap, tap, okay? So now the other thing you can do is if you're modifying, you bring your knees down, you slide one side out, come back in, other side comes out, you come back in. I'll switch this back a little. All right, so we're lifting up. Going in 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Gently bring your knees down, press back. So we're doing that same thing. We're just doing both legs at the same time. So if you need to modify and do one leg at a time, that's an option. Or it's going to look like this. So I'm up, I come out and in, out and in. If you don't have sliders, I do a little jump out, a little jump in, out, in, out, in. Okay? Get readjusted here. And we go out, in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Awesome. Go ahead. Take those sliders off if you've got them. Slide them out of the way. Now, I'm not going to move my mat too much. I'm limited for space, but if you need to readjust, you can. We're staying on our hands and knees. So I'm gonna take my hands, line them up with my shoulders, got a flat back, and then I'm gonna take my right leg out. So I'm extending it out, and then I'm taking it on a diagonal here. I'm gonna draw a rainbow all the way over to that other side of my leg. So I'll take the foot up and cross it over, and then take it up, cross it back. We've got 8 on each side. So I come up and over, back. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. So go ahead and bring that knee in. Other side, starting out on that diagonal, and we come up and over. Starting from here, 8, we've got 1, over, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. Go ahead and bring it back in. Now, I'll show you the modifier for this next one. I'm just going to switch my mat back a little bit. If you're modifying, knees come to the ground. I'm going to press from child's pose all the way up into a modified plank, okay? So my tops of my feet are on the ground. I just press from here to here, okay? Modification. If you're not modifying, you're going to press back from child's pose into your plank, okay? Full plank. So we'll come up and back, all right? We've got 8 of these. So we'll come back and forward. 2, forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back to plank or child's pose. We're all going to bring our knees down, press into child's pose. And then we're going to finish off with one more plank move here. So I'm going to come up into my modified plank. This will be where you're at if you're modifying. Now, if you're modifying and this is enough, you can stay right here. If you want to join us moving from side to side, you're going to keep one leg down and open to the side, come back to center, other knee down, open to the side, come back to center, okay? So that's your modification choices. If you're sticking with me, you're gonna bring the knees up, starting in plank, and then I move to the side, open, bring it back down, open, bring it back down. We've got 16, all right? Core's in, we're breathing, and we go 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, you're doing awesome, 7, 8, 9, 10, left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Bring it back to center. Knees come to the ground. And we press it back into our child's pose. Big deep breaths right here. Really reaching those fingertips forward, pressing the hips back. Now from here, I'm gonna come up to my knees. I'll scooch back so you guys can see a little better. But I'll take my right foot forward and my left knee is gonna stay on my mat. A little extra cushion here. And I'm just gently pressing forward into that right knee. So you guys will notice I've got a right angle in that right leg. So that means my knee is behind my toes, lined up with my ankle. That's the way you want it to be. Your knee is going over your big toe. That's how we're gonna cause knee issues. So bring it back to that right angle, and you should feel it through the hip flexor on that left side. So you're pressing gently in. You can readjust if you need to. Get a little deeper. Now from here, we're gonna gently press back. So I'm gonna straighten that right leg, probably adjust a little bit, and then I'll bring my toes up. Heel stays down, and you should feel the stretch through the back of the leg. Nice job. So I'm gonna press forward one more time. This time though, I'm gonna bring my left hand down, and I'm gonna do a little twist. So I'll open up with that right arm. And then we come back down and we step that foot back. Same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna bring my left leg forward. Nice gentle push through the hip flexors on the right side. Again, knee is lined up with my ankle and it's behind my toes. And then from here, we're gonna just press back, straighten out that leg, bring the toes up, heel stays down. And then we're gonna push forward again, and this time we'll do that twist. So my right hand comes to the ground, left arm opens. And we bring it down. Now I'm just gonna gently bring that foot back, and I'll sit all the way down on my mat. I'm gonna bring my right leg out, left foot comes in, I'm sitting up nice and tall, and then reaching towards that right foot if I can, or maybe my right leg. Whatever feels good. And then we'll come up, we're gonna switch to the other side. So left foot comes out, right foot comes in, sitting up tall first, and then reaching. And one more big deep breath. And we'll come back up. We'll just cross the legs and sit up nice and tall. We're gonna do a little chest opener. So I'll take my hands back behind me, press into the floor or interlace the fingertips together. Just open the chest. And then we're gonna release to the opposite. So I'm gonna press out. I've got my fingers interlaced. And then come back up. So sitting up nice and tall again. I'm gonna bring my arms out on diagonals here. I'll lift both arms up into that Y shape. And then I'm gonna bring both arms over to the outside of my right knee. I'm just getting a little twist. And then again, coming back up into our Y, and then twisting the other way. Both hands to the outside of that left knee. Back to center. And we're gonna bring those arms down. We'll take one more big inhale up. And exhale. Awesome. Let's just go ahead and fold forward here. So I'm gonna keep my knees bent. We'll lift the arms. And then we're gonna dive forward, trying to keep the sit bones down on your mat. Reach the hands out. Lengthening out the spine. If you can, creep your hands forward a little bit. That feels good. Just trying to keep those sit bones on your mat. And then from here, we're gonna walk the hands back. We'll do the same thing, crossing the other way with the feet. So big inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it forward. Again, keeping those sit bones on your mat. Reaching your fingertips a little farther forward if you can. And then walking the hands back in towards the body. Last one, we'll take our hands to our knees, just gently laying them there, and we're gonna roll the shoulders back. Open the chest for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it. Going 4, 3, 2, and 1. You guys are all set.